Guess who got a copy of Subnautica Below Zero? Yeah, that's right, not me. The developers actually were kind enough to show us some inside looks at Subnautica Below Zero on a public stream. Now keep in mind, everything you see here is super rough around the edges and they have a lot of work to do on the game. So, you know, this isn't the final product, but still, we're really excited to see some of the creatures, some of the biomes, and everything in general. Now, I'll be giving my own opinion every little while through this video. I want you guys to experience this in its raw form as if you yourself were checking out Subnautica for the first time, or at least Below Zero. But in general, while I have some valid points to make and some points I want to really focus on in this video, you're going to see a lot of blank spots with just them playing the game and showing you what you'd be buying if you do go ahead and buy this product, which I highly suggest you do because I think it's going to be amazing. Now, while we move into this, I need to clear the air on a little bit of this too, because technically this content isn't mine. This is from the developers of Subnautica, obviously. And while I'm very appreciative that they're allowing myself and other content creators use this footage, you will see advertisements through this video. Now, just to clarify with you, just like I did with the Ark developers and their stream footage, which I used, I will be taking all of the ad revenue from this video and donating it, with the exception of taxes, because, well, I do YouTube professionally for a living, and I don't want to get in trouble with the government for not paying my taxes, so besides the taxes, everything else from this will be going to charity. Leave some charities down below for me where you would like to see this ad revenue go.
Tracker up at the research site.
Enjoy the gameplay.
Understood. I'll go take a look as soon as I'm ready.
Roger that.
And Sam, the formal bit's cute, but we shared a womb. Would it kill your career to act like we'd met before?
Damn it, Robin. You know these conversations are monitored.
I don't care who knows it's cute. I've been here 2 weeks and we've hardly spoken.
Because you insisted on transferring straight to the planet. Find Jeffries.
Yes, ma'am.
So, this first little bit we've seen in a previous video, though maybe not as polished as this, seeing as we have that giant plant now looking at us as we walk by. But in a previous video that I created, we actually had access to see the entire introduction segment of Subnautica Below Zero. So a lot of you have probably already seen this. However, I do encourage you to stay by anyways and not skip through this section, just for the simple fact that there are little key points in this that are interesting and a little bit different compared to what you saw previously. And yes, it is a little bit more polished from what I've seen as well. So, I actually stuck around for it. Why don't you check it out too and see if you like what they've done with this so far. It's clear they've done some significant work and updates to it. So, I'm gonna be quiet now, and I hope you guys enjoy what you're about to see.
Access denied. Continued efforts to access the facility will be denied forcefully. Conceived, Robin Goodall.
How do you know my name? I come in peace? Sam, the building just powered up. It spoke to me.
Do you need emergency assistance?
I'm fine. No sign of Jeffries.
Robin, I've got an electrical storm on the sensors.
I think it's already here.
That cavern isn't stable. You should get back to...
Sam! Damn it!
So as you just saw, we had a dossier pop up for the alien research facility. All of that fancy stuff, and now we are leaving the cavern, and we're moving into the section where all that nasty stuff happens. And, well, that's a shocker, isn't it? We didn't know that was going to happen. Horrible stuff. Now, obviously, from here on, we're going to continue on through the path that we have carved right here, walking up these rocks. And, well, that's when the fun begins to happen. And before we know it, now we are underwater. Surprisingly enough, the ice gave way, and
Your
now
environment is no
we're in
longer
trouble.
safe, and your PDA has rebooted in emergency mode. Be advised, remaining above ground will result in lethal exposure.
Here's the interesting thing for me, at least in this. The plants that give off oxygen are entirely different now, and I like this concept much more than the previous one where we had to hover over a plant that was releasing oxygen bubbles that went into the, I guess, upwards direction towards us, more or less. But anyways, when we last looked at this gameplay, our gameplay experience really ended circa 30 seconds ago when the ice gave way and we didn't get to see what was past the tunnel. Now for the first time, we get to experience and see everything in the ocean. And it does appear we actually exit around the twisty bridges, which is going to be a nice experience as well, because the twisty bridges, from what I understand, relatively safe. You know, you're not going to have too much stuff to worry about. But then again, you know, there might be some brute sharks, which we will see a brute shark and various other creatures in the near future of this video. And that, just to give you a heads up, I know some people are excited about the ice worm. I don't have any footage of the ice worm. I don't think the ice worm is complete, and I entirely understand if they don't want to show a creature of that magnitude and that importance of the story in a little stream of their alpha content and stuff like that
do
as
you
well.
read me?
Sam, I copy. I'm out in open water.
Are you hurt? I'm requesting an immediate evac.
No, I'm okay. I just need shelter.
Okay, I'm sending a drop pod. Look up.
Thanks. I'll be in touch.
I just want to add in here, too, that the voice acting is still kind of rough. We see the Vesper up there, obviously, but the voice acting itself still has to go through iterations. Obviously, guys, it's an early access game. There's going to be issues, and they're going to have things that aren't quite set up just yet. However, we do see the Vesper, and we see a supply drop coming down towards us. The only time we've ever had anything drop from the sky in Subnautica, to my knowledge, is when we were in our life pod, back when the Aurora was having some serious technical difficulties, right? So this is actually kind of interesting. I think this life pod itself that it's dropping is true to form in Subnautica, that it is an actual life pod that's falling from the sky right now with a parachute. And I think this is the one actually that it'll go underwater and mount itself to the sea floor rather than hover on top of the ocean. From what I see right here, it's going to go right in. There's no balloons or anything like that. There's no properties about this that will make it hover. And it's just going to gently glide down and latch on to the sea floor, which I like this concept a lot more as well, to believe it or not. Like, the previous one was cool, but I like the underwater feel of Subnautica, and making bases underwater was a huge part of this game. Why did we have a base that hovered or floated on the water? It also seems like it has some power sources there too on the side with the little dishes that are on it as well. Why can't I think of the name
Sam,
of them now?
I'm at the pod.
Solar panels. There we
Anyone on
go.
Jeffries?
I'm dumb.
GPS is still down.
And the facility?
New creature discovered. New creature discovered. Oxygen. Oxygen. Oxygen.
So, as we're about to see, we get to see some of the crafting menu stuff in Subnautica Below Zero as well. Cooked food, we have water, and just in general, some different items. And that's more or less that. Cooking is pretty similar to what you see in the base game of Subnautica. I'm sure there's going to be placeholders to some extent in some of this stuff, but we do make batteries. We use different resources for different things. However, at the same time, guys, I don't know if this means these are the exact ingredients, or if these are just placeholders and they're going to be working on some other things to, I guess, build the quota for what you need for your equipment and stuff. But we do get to look at some of the items that we have too. In general, though, it does seem like a lot of this is recycled from the base game of Subnautica.
New creature discovered. Oxygen. New blueprint acquired. Oxygen. Oxygen.
Hi again. Did you miss me? I know I was silent for a little while there, but there wasn't too much to point out. However, right here, it does seem that we will have to capture and record fragments of different technologies so we ourselves can move forward and create bigger and better things. Now, if this is how the blueprints for the sea train and all the other stuff, the Arctic fog, what is it called? The motorcycle anyways. You know, I don't know if those are going to require we find fragments as well. And in my personal opinion, it doesn't really make sense that you would find the fragments in these areas too, but perhaps because the base was destroyed, it wasn't just covered. Maybe it was actually an explosion that came from the base that just threw everything out around. I also want to take note of that little penguin right there, because that little penguin looks like one of the original alien penguin concepts that we saw ages ago that we thought were scrapped, but maybe it's not scrapped and or it's just a rare spawn or a skin variation. So, while I'm sure you're admiring the crafting system, we're actually going to get some explanations now from people in-game.
Hey, I've got a lead. An alien sanctuary in the Twisty Bridges, 200 meters down.
I need to go back to the research site.
You can't.
Why not?
CEO's orders. We're trying to keep you alive.
Only because salaries cost less than lawsuits.
Is that cynicism making you friends down there?
Oh, sure. They're just not human.
I'm sending the sanctuary details to your PDA's databank.
All right, I'll take a look.
Just let me know what you find and don't get me in trouble.
Sanctuary is clearly where we were locked out of. We know of a creature or precursor called Alan, and more or less, from what I understand in this storyline, once we find out more about Alan, we have to reconstruct or recreate them or we need to do something for them anyways and get like a core for them and just in general some story-driven things that really have to happen in order to help this person thing, it, whatever you want to call it out, more or less. It's an alien. It's a precursor. We're going to meet it. We're going to talk to a precursor too, which is quite cool. But in general, you know, that's basically where this point is going to lead us to. However, unfortunately, we won't get to see that in this section of the gameplay video that we're seeing right now. Actually, I'm pretty sure what we're seeing right now is the gist of what we're going to have access to. Maybe some more polish, a little bit more, maybe a vehicle or something like that. But in general, this might be what we get access to in the early access version of the game.
"30 seconds. "30 seconds. Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased. "30 seconds. "30 seconds. "30 seconds. Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Now we move into some of the goodies, actually, guys. So here's the deal right here. We have a brute shark. This is the first predator in Below Zero we've ever gotten to see, or even really hear, and we also hear it attack our female character and the scream that she lets out. The brute shark in general is smaller than I thought it would be, but at the same time, I figured it would be around the size of the stalker, but in general, you know, that's basically that. And the most... This guy has been anticipated so much. This is the Rock Puncher. Now, the Rock Puncher is something that was slotted to go into Subnautica ages ago, and, well, now it's in this build of the game, which is the standalone experience Below Zero. Now, ending this off, we actually end up in a precursor-like facility, and that kind of confuses and worries me because this is literally where it ends. They stop moving forwards from there, and I'm kind of curious now as to why we stop in a precursor facility. But regardless, guys, that is it for now on Subnautica Below Zero. A huge thank you for myself personally for being allowed to use this footage from the Subnautica developers. I will leave links to their social media for all platforms down below in the comments section of the video. Please go follow them on Twitter and other social media and stuff like that, because these guys will be giving you updates for when this game launches. I highly suggest you get it because it's going to be such a good game. We've seen how Subnautica turned out in the past. Oh man, I can't wait. Again, huge thank you. All ad revenue will be going to charity. And that's it, guys. I will see you in the next one.